Before I break down the details about the diary, here's a brief recap of the events in Minnesota. If you want to get to the part about the diary, go ahead and skip to the next section of this video. On August 28th, a tragic incident occurred at Annunciation Catholic Church during a back-to-school mass in Minneapolis. 2 children lost their lives and 17 others were injured. The perpetrator has also passed after taking his own life. 23-year-old Robin Westman, previously known as Robin Westman, identified as transgender since childhood with a legal name change in 2020 when he was 17. Westman's mother worked at the same Catholic school where the incident occurred. Shortly after the incident, a video appeared online on a now-deleted YouTube channel under the name Robin W. The video included diary pages written in both English and what appeared to be Russian. At the end of this video, I will actually show you the key piece of information that tells us how this incident could have been avoided. Also, most of the text in these journals were not suitable for this video, so I will show you some of the parts that caught my attention and that are safe to show. This video contains discussion of real-life violence and sensitive topics. It is intended for news reporting, analysis, and educational purposes only. I do not condone, promote, or encourage any violence of any kind. Viewer discretion is advised. Personally took screenshots of this video before it was removed and had to use AI tools to decode the entries of this diary. What I found provides a deeply concerning look into Westman's mindset. The diary includes coded passages, disturbing drawings, and references to demonic influence. It also mentions his issues with race, religion, his personal identity, and Donald Trump. He mentions part of his selection process for the location of the attack, and more importantly, he points out the reason why other locations were not chosen. As you can see, the words appear to be written in Russian, but they were actually written in English by using the Russian alphabet and phonetics. So keep that in mind for things that might appear as misspellings. The contents of the diary were deeply disturbing. I won't read the entire translation of each page, but feel free to pause if you want to read. I will highlight the parts that caught my eye for you. So here's one of the first pages I analyzed. He indicates he is tired of living a double life. This could refer to his struggles with attempting to live as a woman, or because of the evil inside of him. He constantly writes about his struggles with both of these throughout the journals, such as this page where he says,
I don't feel like a person. I don't know what it is. I'm tired of having to pretend I'm normal. I'm tired of having to smile when I'm not happy. I'm tired of having to talk to people who don't understand me. I have to get out of here. I'm a machine, but I don't want to be a machine anymore.
And this other page where he drew a mix of the symbols for gender with a question mark, and his words show the same confusion.
I don't know how I am a trans girl. It is unnatural that I like how I look in girl clothes. I don't thinking about being a girl. I want to be cute and sweet and soft. I am jealous of some people's natural cuteness.
A common theme we see in these individuals is not only their hate towards Christians, but also their deep envy and disdain specifically towards biological women.
Even when dressed in a cute, I swear which was very cute. Not me though, I look like an ogre. I'm a dark evil woman. I wish I could live my life in a mask.
On this page we see other strange drawings, and it reads,
I am the bot. I got something I really want. I know I'm not a woman, but I definitely don't feel like a man.
Toward the end of the diary, the tone grows darker. He sketches demonic symbols including Baphomet and a pentagram alongside disturbing text. The text is repetitive, and he describes how evil and sick he feels inside. This is the only line I can show you. He says,
I'm a cold heart. I'm a sad person.
On this page, he drew the communist fist symbol along with other icons, and he expresses anger towards Donald Trump and calls America a fascist tyranny for wanting to ban people like him, referring to the fact that he's trans. He also wrestles with his frustration about not being able to avoid his feelings of disdain towards Mexicans and other groups, claiming stereotypes are true. And on the next page, he continues his rant about them, but also mentions something about demons laughing and encouraging him. Which brings us to one of the most disturbing pages in the diary. He drew an image of himself in front of the mirror, and his reflection is that of a demon staring right back at him. The image caption reads,
Who am I? When will this end? Help me. I don't want to.
Part of him knew something was wrong with him. He even admitted his need for psychological help, but he feared this would put him on a watch list. This drawing's caption is about harming his enemies. And on the next page, he reiterates his desire.
Haters, I will you. Consider yourself dead. Confused about my gender? LOL. My ID says female, but I'm very obviously male. There's going to be so much misinformation spread around.
Here he rants about the elites who ruled the world, his dislike for Israel, and the situation in Palestine. He ends the page with the phrase, "gas them," yet on the header of the same page he wrote,
I am a Jew. I am one.
This page has a sickle and an image of a dark face mask. He writes,
But I am already gone. I am drifting away from you. I am an empty shell.
I think this directly correlates to the fact that he was under demonic influence when he did this. I mean, prior to it, if you ask me. His thoughts about this are very twisted, and I believe he was a vessel for evil entities. Here, we find a key detail, which is the fact that he specifically wanted to choose a place, not only that had children in it, but also a place that was designated as a gun-free zone. This leads us to the last page I will show you, and the key takeaway in this whole mess. He was considering carrying the attack at the Minnesota State Fair.
I keep finding myself wanting a better target. I thought of the Minnesota State Fair. There is like 5,000 people packed together in such a lake. I can't do that though. I am sure there is an entire army of plainclothes officers waiting for me.
So where does this leave us? When you study these diary entries and drawings, there's a lot of possible explanations. I believe it's demonic influence, but most might say it's mental illness. Others wonder about programming or manipulation, the kind of thing people associate with MKUltra, which wouldn't be unrealistic. The truth is, it could be all of those things. I think all those factors can be combined, and what exactly is it they implant on people subject to MKUltra? No matter which lens you use, it all points to the same source, something demonic. But just remember that in his own words, the only reason he didn't go to the state fair was because there will be an entire army of plainclothes officers packed together who would have stopped him in his tracks. I'm not allowed to tell you what conclusions to draw from that, but I do think it's worth asking yourself how you and your community can stay safe. Let me know your perspective in the comments. Do you think this was mental illness, programming, spiritual darkness, or all of the above? If you enjoyed this video, share it with a friend and make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.